Forget Mars. The most alien landscape on Earth isn't in space. It's right here, hidden beneath miles of crushing pressure and total permanent darkness. Less than 0.001% of this realm has ever been seen by human eyes. In this video, we're diving past the sunlit zone into the chilling abyss. You're about to meet organisms that bioluminesce, creatures with jaws bigger than their bodies, and animals that survive the pressure equivalent of 1,000 elephants standing on a car. These are the true wonders, the silent masters of the deep, defying everything we know about life. Stick with us, because what we uncover about these alien life forms in the deepest trenches could hold the key to life on other planets. This is Alien Worlds Underwater. Let's dive in. The shocking premise: forget about Mars, Saturn's moons, or any of the cold dead worlds hanging in the black sky above us. The most alien landscape we know isn't a billion miles away. It's right here, hidden beneath a blanket of water. It's a world ruled by conditions that should make complex life impossible. A place where the laws of our surface physics are completely rewritten. And yet life doesn't just survive there, it thrives. The ocean's secret. This is a secret kept by the deep ocean, an environment so hostile and vast that humanity has explored less than 0.1% of it. It is an underwater cosmos of perpetual night, chilling temperatures, and a colossal, crushing force. Most of what we know about life on Earth comes from the thin, sunlit veneer at the surface. But the real mysteries, the true evolutionary breakthroughs, happen far below. This video will completely change how you view your own planet forever. The journey's promise: we are going to make that journey now, diving past the shallow coastal regions and into the terrifying unknown. We'll descend through the water column, watching the familiar, vibrant colors of our world disappear one by one. Your concept of a monster is about to be redefined by creatures that live without light. They've developed bizarre, terrifying, and utterly spectacular adaptations just to make it through the day. Get ready to meet the true masters of deep-sea survival. The environmental tease: before we meet these strange inhabitants, we need to understand the hell they call home. It's a place where sunlight, the universal engine for life, simply doesn't exist past a certain point. It's a place where the water temperature hovers just above freezing, relentless, and unforgiving. And crucially, it's a place where the pressure is so immense it could flatten a car instantly. How does anything survive such an impossible combination of forces? The open loop to the next topic. To understand that miraculous survival, we first have to fully appreciate the world we are leaving behind. Our surface world, governed by the gentle sun, is actually just a small, insignificant bubble of life. We're about to leave that comfortable, visible zone, the photic zone, behind us for good. The real descent starts now, and the first mile is the most crucial, as it's where the light ends. It's where the easy answers cease, and the profound, dark mystery truly begins. The photic zone. We start our descent in the photic zone, the familiar surface layer where sunlight penetrates and powers almost all life on Earth. This is the vibrant home of whales, dolphins, and coral reefs, extending about 660 feet down. It's a biological powerhouse, yet it represents just 5% of the ocean's total volume. All the comfort, all the color, and all the light we know exists only here, in this thin, fragile skin. It's the bubble we are rapidly escaping. The end of the light below that initial depth, things change fast. You quickly pass the point where plants can photosynthesize. At about 1,000 feet, you hit the permanent twilight, a place known as the dysphotic zone. Here, only the faintest blue light filters down, enough for some specialized vision, but not enough to sustain a single plant. It's a profound shift, visually and psychologically, as the vibrant colors turn into a monochrome world. We are now entering a realm governed by shadow. The ocean floor drop-off, but the light disappearing is just the beginning of the radical transformation. The ocean floor, often imagined as a flat sandy bottom, is anything but. It drops off into sheer cliffs, immense trenches, and vast abyssal plains that stretch for thousands of miles. If Mount Everest were placed in the deepest part of the ocean, its peak would still be over a mile underwater. The sheer scale of what we are descending into is difficult for the human mind to grasp. Leaving the surface behind, every meter we descend, we leave the warmth and energy of the sunlit world further behind. The pressure begins to mount exponentially, yet the temperature begins to drop dramatically. Most surface organisms would instantly implode or freeze at this level of stress. It takes a unique kind of biological armor just to pass through this transitional space. It's almost as if we're passing through a biological gate. Once we cross the 3,300-foot mark, the sun is functionally gone forever. We enter the Abyssal Zone. This is the true midnight ocean, where the environment is defined not by light, but by pressure. It's time to talk about the physical laws that dictate everything in this dark territory. How much pressure can the creatures down here actually withstand? The pressure problem in the midnight zone, the central law of the universe, is pressure. For every 33 feet you drop, the pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. By the time you hit the deep ocean floor, the pressure can exceed 16,000 pounds per square inch. Think about the weight of a commercial jetliner balanced entirely on your fingertip. That's the incredible, constant force these organisms endure every second of their lives. Surviving the squeezed surface life relies on air-filled cavities like lungs, which collapse instantly under this weight. But the creatures here have evolved an elegant solution. They simply don't have those air pockets. Their bodies are mostly water and gelatinous material, which is virtually incompressible. They've developed specialized proteins and chemical structures to keep their cells intact. They are truly the ultimate biological pressure vessels. A cold reality equally challenging is the cold. Past the surface layer, ocean water typically sits at a frigid 39 degrees Fahrenheit. This constant, deep chill drastically slows down metabolic processes. Energy is the most valuable currency in the abyss, and you don't want to waste it generating heat. So these organisms are often sluggish, moving only when absolutely necessary to conserve every calorie. It's a world running on an evolutionary slow-motion switch. The scarcity of fuel without sunlight. There is no photosynthesis, which means the ecosystem is entirely dependent on food that drifts down from above. This marine snow dead organisms and fecal matter is scarce, and must sustain the entire midnight biosphere. This intense scarcity drives bizarre adaptations for hunting and consumption. Every creature is an expert at maximizing opportunity and minimizing energy expenditure. Hunger is the silent, ever-present reality. The pressure and the cold demand efficiency, but the constant darkness presents a unique problem for a predator. How do you find your next meal when you can't see anything, and your prey doesn't want to be found? The answer is a breathtaking, terrifying evolutionary trick known as bioluminescence. We're about to enter the Twilight Zone, the darkest light show on Earth. Welcome to the Twilight Zone, or the Mesopelagic realm, stretches from 660 feet down to over 3,300 feet. It's the most common environment on the planet by volume, and its inhabitants are defined by one thing. Here, the residual sunlight is just enough to cast shadows, making animals vulnerable to predators below. Their solution is perhaps the greatest biological innovation of the deep: a living light. It's the ocean's own internal communication system. The art of counter-illumination. Many of the creatures here employ counter-illumination, a brilliant form of camouflage. They produce blue light from organs on their underside, perfectly matching the faint sunlight filtering down. From a predator looking up, the animal's silhouette is completely erased by this glowing disguise. It's a subtle chemical magic that allows them to live and hunt without casting a shadow. This adaptation alone proves that light is not absent here, merely repurposed. Bioluminescence as a language, but bioluminescence is more than camouflage. It is a universal language of the twilight. Animals flash unique patterns to identify mates, ward off rivals, or lure prey. It's a complex, silent communication network in a world with no other way to transmit information. Some creatures even deploy a cloud of glowing mucus, a blinding flash grenade, to escape danger. The only true visibility in this zone is the light they generate themselves. The vertical migration every night, one of the most massive migrations on Earth, takes place in this zone. Trillions of creatures, squid, shrimp, and fish ascend thousands of feet to feed in the shallower waters. They risk the surface for a few hours of feeding before returning to the darkness at dawn. This diel vertical migration is a staggering display of biological synchronicity. It represents the largest movement of biomass on the planet, all orchestrated by the sun they avoid. These nightly movements and the incredible light displays are only part of the story. The true terror of the Twilight Zone lies in the hunters that stay behind, permanently adapted to the gloom. They use the darkness and their own unique lights to create lethal traps. These are the creatures that perfectly embody the word monster, and we're about to meet them. The anglerfish's lure. No creature better symbolizes the horror of the deep than the female anglerfish. It floats motionless in the void, a living fishing rod in the darkness. Her famed bioluminescent lure, or ESCA, dangles hypnotically in front of her massive jaws. She doesn't chase food. She waits for curiosity to bring it straight to her. It is an apex predator built entirely on the principle of passive hunting. The anglerfish presents one of the most bizarre reproductive strategies known to science. The tiny parasite-like male exists only to find a female, which he often does by scent. Once attached, his body literally fuses with hers, dissolving his eyes and organs. He becomes a permanent, reliable source of sperm for her, a living appendage. This reproductive strategy is a testament to the sheer difficulty of finding a mate in the deep. Meet the viperfish, a creature whose appearance is pure nightmare fuel. Its teeth are so long and sharp that they don't even fit inside its mouth when closed. These fangs actually curve back over its head, ensuring that anything it catches cannot escape. It's another example of the deep-sea rule. Capture food now, because the next meal may be weeks away. The viperfish is a fragile, yet perfectly weaponized, killing machine. These creatures share a common design philosophy. They are mostly mouth and stomach. The deep sea's unpredictable food sources demand the ability to swallow prey much larger than themselves. Their stomachs are expandable, their jaws unhinge, and their bodies are soft and compressible. They sacrifice speed and protection for the ability to consume any unexpected bounty. In the twilight, a meal saved is more important than a battle won. We are now dropping below the twilight zone, and the last traces of sunlight are gone forever. The creatures here have been fierce, but they still rely on the faint echoes of the surface world. In the region we are entering, even that connection is severed. We are descending into the Abyssal Zone where life gets very, very big. The Abyssal Zone begins around 13,000 feet and covers over 70% of the entire ocean floor. This is the true black void, a place where the temperature is constant and light is non-existent. The pressure is immense, but paradoxically, this stability is a form of luxury for its inhabitants. Life here is defined by extraordinary patience and incredible size. Welcome to the realm of deep-sea gigantism. Why do animals here grow so much larger than their shallow water counterparts? The prevailing theory points back to that glacial cold and the scarcity of resources. Cold-blooded animals grow more slowly, but they also live longer, allowing them to reach immense sizes. Being large also gives them an edge in catching rare, large prey and storing energy. The Abyssal Zone rewards the patient giant. Life here is an exercise in extreme energy conservation. Many abyssal creatures rely on a sit-and-wait approach, barely moving for days or weeks on end. Their bodies have low muscle mass and slow heart rates, ensuring minimal caloric burn. They are built like biological gliders, designed to survive the endless fast. It's a completely different rhythm of life, running on evolutionary battery saver mode. The deep-sea scavengers, the few nutrients that do reach the abyssal plain, often arrive in massive, irregular packages. These are whale falls, when a large whale dies and sinks, providing a sudden massive feast. Giant scavengers like hagfish and certain isopods converge on these events, feasting for months. These isolated bonanzas allow the ecosystem to sustain its giants, though they are rare events. It's a feast or famine existence at its most extreme. The Abyssal Zone is vast and mysterious, but it is not the deepest. Below the abyssal plain are deep, crushing canyons and trenches that plunge even further. These narrow cuts in the Earth's crust present a whole new set of impossible challenges. In these hadal zones, the pressure doubles again, yet life persists. Into the trenches, the hadal zone, named after the Greek god of the underworld, Hades, begins below 20,000 feet. These are the deep ocean trenches, the massive scars on the planet's surface. The Mariana Trench is the most famous, plunging deeper than Mount Everest is tall. The pressure here is 7 miles of water pressing down, a truly incomprehensible force. Only a handful of submersibles have ever reached this desolate and extreme frontier. Specialized life. The life forms here are the ultimate extremophiles, highly specialized to resist the forces. Organisms in the hadal zone have unique enzymes that prevent the pressure from destroying their proteins. You won't find the soft, fragile giants here. These creatures are small, resilient, and tough. They rely on whatever scant marine debris slides down the trench walls. The hadal zone is not just deep. It's a distinct, incredibly isolated ecosystem. The paradoxical ecosystem, ironically, these deep trenches can sometimes be hotspots of abundance, relative to the abyssal plain. The V-shape of the trench collects debris and sediment from the surrounding seafloor. It acts like a giant, dark funnel, concentrating the rare food supply. This unique geography means that localized pockets of life can sometimes be richer than expected. The abyss is a desert, but the trenches are deep, dark oases. The discovery of chemosynthesis, the most important discovery of the deep ocean, came not from hunting monsters, but from finding a different energy source. At hydrothermal vents, volcanic fissures on the seafloor, life ignores the sun completely. These underwater chimneys spew superheated, toxic, mineral-rich water. Instead of photosynthesis, bacteria here use chemosynthesis, converting chemicals into energy. This discovery fundamentally changed our understanding of where life can exist. The chemosynthetic ecosystems of the trenches prove that life does not need the sun to start or sustain itself. This single, staggering fact elevates our search far beyond the simple boundaries of Earth's ocean. It links the bizarre, unseen worlds beneath our waves to the frozen, dark moons of our solar system. If life can do this here, what does that mean for the frozen oceans of Europa? Changing the definition of life, the bizarre life we have unveiled in the trenches changes our entire definition of a habitable zone. For generations, scientists looked for planets with liquid water and a sun just like ours. But the creatures of the deep prove that internal energy and chemical compounds are all you truly need. The discovery of life around hydrothermal vents blew the cosmic search wide open. It confirmed that even in the most extreme places, life finds a way. The search for life beyond consider the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, like Europa and Enceladus. Both are thought to harbor vast subsurface oceans beneath thick, frozen crusts. These moons are too far from the sun for photosynthesis, but they are geologically active. Scientists now look for hydrothermal vents beneath the ice caps of these alien worlds. Our deep-sea creatures are essentially templates for extraterrestrial life. The ocean's enduring mystery, despite the technological marvels. We still know more about the surface of Mars than the bottom of our own planet. We have only scratched the surface of the Abyssal Zone, and new species are discovered with every dive. This vast, cold, dark volume of water is the last great terrestrial frontier. It remains a persistent, humbling mystery that challenges our hubris and our science. There are still creatures lurking in the blackness that have yet to be named. The final perspective. So next time you look at the ocean, remember what lies beneath the gentle waves. Remember the crushing pressure, the bioluminescent hunters, and the giant scavengers. Remember the tiny fish surviving where rock should crumble and metal should warp. The ocean is not just deep. It is an alternate planet that orbits the sun alongside us. It is an alien world that we are only just beginning to truly understand. If this journey into the deep changed the way you see Earth, hit the like button and let us know. What was the strangest creature we unveiled today? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into the unlikeless places on Earth and beyond. Thank you for joining us on Alien Worlds Underwater.